Now let's go ahead and boot up Kali Linux. Powering VM up. And then you'll see this little window that comes up. So if you accidentally click into it, you see that you can't really move your mouse. You can't find your mouse. All you have to do is hit the right control key if you're on Windows, and then it should be able to disable your mouse or remove your mouse from this window. That way you can perform your other functions. Let's say you want to come back in here and play around with something else. So now it's booting Kali Linux up, loading Linux, and then loading initial RAM disk. This can take a couple minutes. I guess it just kind of really depends. Here we go. Mouse integration, close that off. Now you can come in here. Since we already set up root credentials from the VM install, we'll go ahead and just do root and then our password. This is going to be the login prompt. Now it'll load up. It's going to load everything up. So here we go. Now we'll go ahead and make this full screen. I'll go ahead and remove my face just so it's not blocking the screen anymore. Now this is how Kali Linux is going to look when you boot it up. You'll see this top toolbar up here. Go from the left hand side. This is like your Windows key on Windows. You'll load all your applications. See all the applications here, favorites, your terminal emulator, file manager, text editor, web browser, and etc. Then recently used, Wireshark Burp Suite, all applications. This will be all the applications on Kali Linux. Then up in your settings. So now let's say you want to set something up. Your appearance, maybe you want to change your appearance. Icons, fonts, settings, you could do all that right here. Panel, desktop. Maybe you want to change your wallpaper. So let's say we want to change it to this. So Kali Linux has pretty cool wallpapers. And then of course you can install your own. Let's say you don't want one of these. Maybe you want to go to pictures and download something from the internet as your wallpaper. You could definitely do that. And then these are the different applications, so information gathering tools. It makes it kind of nice because it groups the tools up together from depending on what the purpose is. Like information gathering, DNS analysis, you can use these different tools. IDS, IPS identification. Let's say you want to play with SMB, Enum for Linux, NBT scan, SMB map, and then all these other scans over here. A mask is like Nmap, Maltego, NetDiscover, Nmap, Recon NG, ZenMap. Say you want to do password attacks. These are the different password tools on here. And wireless attacks. Let's say you're doing some kind of Wi-Fi attack. You could come in here and Fern, Aircrack NG, very popular tool. You use these tools right here, Bluetooth attacks. Wi-Fi, it's pretty good. Reverse engineering, and so on. Now you come over here, this icon right here will minimize all the desktops shown. So let's say you have Firefox open. This will minimize everything. It's like your Windows D key on Windows if you ever use that command. This is your File Explorer, open folder, open in terminal, create folder, desktop. So these are the popular folders that you've been using. This is your just a plain text editor up here. You come in here, type whatever you want. Of course, we're not going to save any of that. Firefox terminal right over here. So you could open up a root terminal, PowerShell. So now you got something that looks like PowerShell. Now these 1, 2, 3, and 4 over here, these are your different workspaces. Let's say you're attacking 4 different systems. Let's say you're studying for the OSCP. You could use this for one machine doing your attacks or enumeration, and then this workspace for another, third, fourth, etc. On this toolbar, you can go to properties and play around with it. Maybe you want to add a separator up here, handle up here, dots, or just keep it transparent. It's all up to you. Maybe you want to expand it. By hitting expand, by checking the expand checkbox, it'll move all these to the right hand side. But if you don't check it, it'll congest it all over here up to the left hand side. Of course, you come in here, remove stuff, remove things, panel. Let's say you want to add a new item like a launcher, separator, action button, battery monitor. You can quickly add that. this shows your task manager. It's like a CPU monitor, like task manager on Windows. Pretty much the same thing. CPU processes, memory, SWAT memory, all that good stuff. You're using the root account, you may harm your system. So it's giving that warning there. This little RJ45 jack looking thing is going to be your internet connection. So Ethernet, since we're connected via Ethernet, just because if you're using VirtualBox, it's not going to show it as a Wi-Fi connection. It's going to show it as an Ethernet connection. And then this is going to be your sound, so you can adjust the sound, your notifications up here. This would be presentation mode. So if you want to set it as presentation mode, go to settings, play around with it, your clock, your calendar, your lock. So you can hit this to lock the screen. Now it's locked. So then we can go ahead and lock back in. This is your power. So what do you want to do? Log out as root, shut down, restart, log out, hibernate, hybrid, switch user. Save your session for future logins. So whatever windows and things you have up and running, it'll save all that. So that way, when you relaunch your Kali Linux instance in the future, all that will pop up and be shown the same from where you left off. So everything's going to be exactly how you left it before you shut your system off. And then of course, if you right click on the blank canvas, you can create a launcher, create URL link, create a folder, you create an empty file, just type it test, and then it'll create it over here on the left hand side. You can paste something if you're copying something. So let's say you want to copy this, then you hit paste. Of course, we'll just go ahead and just replace it. And then open as root, open terminal. So open terminal here. Makes it nice and simple, so you don't have to come up here and click terminal. And then you can do whatever you want up in here. Let's say you want to split the terminal horizontally. Let's say you want to split it vertically. Let's say you want to collapse one. Let's say you have no purpose for these over here. You can quickly collapse them and just have your main terminal instance right up here. You can change preferences, of course. So appearance, you can change the color scheme, Kali Light. Say green on black. Some people like this setting. And then you can play around with it, change the behavior, add some shortcuts, drop downs, bookmarks. Go to file, you could open up a new tab over here. Let's say you're running a scan here, and then you want to run a web directory brute force scan on this tab here, dirbuster here, maybe nmap there, or gobuster here, fuff. Then you can close a tab, actions, edit, view, help, of course. Close that out. Desktop settings. Maybe you want to change your background, your menus, your icons. You want to put your icons up on the right side. There you go. They're on the right side. Applications. Maybe you want to open applications from here, like a reporting tool such as Cherry Tree. Go ahead and open that up. Makes it real simple by having the right click option and all these different settings that you can open up, especially your different applications. Now, a really cool feature over here that not a whole lot of people know about is undercover mode. So Kali Linux undercover mode. Say you're out in public. I mean, it doesn't really matter nowadays if you're using Linux out in public. No one really cares. But let's say you wanted to trick a few people. You can hit that and then it shows your instance looking like Windows. So you hit up this application finder, looks like Windows. Next workspace, restore minimize Windows, home Kali, looks just like Windows. So here is your file explorer. Looks like we're just on our main OS really. And you can open up all these folders, see you're in a root directory, file system, all that good stuff. Edge, this is going to be Mozilla Firefox, but it's going to look like Edge, kind of show that undercover mode. Your notepad looks like Notepad EXE on Windows and all that good stuff. So really cool, neat little trick. So, and then of course we can go back. And it'll switch everything back. Now from here on out, everything we do is going to pretty much live within the terminal. So a lot of these settings we won't play with a whole lot. So it's just going to be straight into the terminal or using different applications.